She said, she'll take me anywhere, she'll take me anywhere, as long as she stays with me. She said, she'll take me anywhere, she'll take me anywhere, as long as I stay queen. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Well, I just did Summerslam 2005. And yeah, let's do another one. Let's go all the way back though. 1990, Summerslam was an interesting show. There's a lot more matches on here. But yeah, there was a match I specifically want to talk about. But here we go. We have a dark match. Shane Douglas, who defeated Buddy Rose. Buddy Rose, one of the biggest names at the time, which I was surprised that Shane actually beat him. And you don't necessarily realize too, like I never realized how long he was in the business, over 40 years, which is pretty cool, you know. But I think Shane is very underrated and should have got a title in WWF, but it is what it is. You have Power and Glory, Paul Roma and Hercules, with Slickster, who defeated the Rockers, of course, Sean and Marty. This was awesome. Power and Glory ended up getting the win, and then somehow Sean got injured and they put him on a stretcher, and yeah. You have Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, who faced off against Kerry Von Erich, the Texas Tornado. This was cool. This was shortly after Kerry went into company. But this was a very good match. You would think, too, that with Bobby Heenan, Mr. Perfect would actually get the win. But it was Texas Tornado that had beaten Perfect, and he wasn't the Intercontinental Champion for very long, but I was like, at least Von Erich got a WWF championship of sorts. It was a shame that he didn't stick around too much longer. Well, it's 3 years, I think. He could have been WWF champion, but you know, it is what it is too. Like, I think he was a very good wrestler, and you look at the family. Well, both of the families. I mean, Kurt Hennig with Larry the Axe, and then, of course, well, obviously not at the time, but you'll know Curtis Axel or Joe Hennig like a decade or so later. You have a match that actually didn't happen. The Queen Sherry versus Sapphire, if you will. And actually, it was the other man, Ted DiBiase, who got Sapphire, bought her, whatever. And she came down with the fur coat. So yeah, this was an ongoing storyline. Dusty eventually beat Ted, but I'm not quite sure when that happened. You have this match, the Warlord, who defeated Tito Santana. Again, another good wrestler that should have gotten the Intercontinental title or the WWF title. Not that I think that would have happened. I mean, Tito was Intercontinental Champion in the 80s. I think maybe that would have been cool to see the Warlord have his match and get a title, but, you know, I don't know why it didn't work out, but I just think it would have been cool. I mean, you have him and the Barbarian as the tag team champions, but still, I think that would have been awesome. 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWF Tag Team Championships. The Hart Foundation beating Demolition. And this match was pretty cool as well. I think it got these two teams are very hard-hitting, very athletic. You know what I mean? This is when Brett and Jim became faces. So, but yeah, this was a 2 out of 1. So the Hart Foundation beat them twice. And this is 2-0, so you didn't have Axe. It was Smash and Crush. And Crush hadn't been in the company that long at this point, so. And then you have this match. Big Boss Man, the special guest referee. Very apropos. In another week, you're going to have Seth Rollins be a special guest referee for CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I knew there was a reason I did this with you. But this was a disqualification, and yeah, Boss Man got in Jake's face, and you know, there it is. You have a Tag Team match. Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Nikolai Volkov, who defeated the Orient Express, Seto, and Tanaka with Mr. Fuji. I think Nikolai is underrated. I mean, yeah, he was the Tag Team Champions with Iron Sheik. However, I think it would have been cool to see him with an Intercontinental Championship. I don't think he would ever win the WWF Championship, but I think it would have been interesting to see him with the IC title. Obviously, so could Jim. Like, I think Jim Duggan could have won either title as well. But I've already made that rant, so I'm not gonna, repeat myself. Speaking of Sherry and Sapphire, you got this match. Macho King Randy Savage with Queen Sherry, who defeated Dusty Rhodes. I believe this is when $1 Million Man brought Sapphire out, but I don't know, I could be wrong on that. But yeah, this was a good feud. Obviously, WrestleMania 6, you had the Tag Team match. Randy Savage and Sherry versus Dusty and Sapphire. So this was a pretty good match and a pretty good feud. You have Hulk Hogan with the Big Boss Man in his corner. I think I remember that. They Hogan defeated the Canadian Earthquake with Jimmy Hart and Dino Bravo by countout. Now this match was cool because you got to see Hogan body slam Earthquake. Now this actually started when you have Earthquake beat Hogan on the Brother Love show and squash him. So, I mean, this was a good feud, but to actually see Hogan body slam him is pretty cool. And I think John Tenta, still being one of my favorite wrestlers of the past, we lost him way too soon. Man, can he, if he was alive today, I don't know what he would do, honestly. But, man, he was one of the best, and again, wish he would have gotten a singles title. Now, this is the main reason I wanted to do this with you, because you have a steel cage match for the WWF Championship. The Ultimate Warrior versus Rick Roode. A feud in itself. And I mean, it's one of those things, too, where, yeah, Bobby Heenan was still in Roode's corner, but it was a steel cage match, so he was on the outside. And yeah, you have Ultimate Warrior climb the cage and win the match, retaining the title. You almost thought that Rick Roode was gonna actually overcome the odds like he did at WrestleMania 5 and win the WWF title. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. And I mean, look, I know that Warrior won at WrestleMania 6. He forfeited the Intercontinental Championship, but yeah. You look at, okay, the guy was the shits. And he had his demons, he had his issues, and the fact that Rick Roode if he would have been a WWF title, maybe he would have fucked off to WCW. So it's like, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I think Rick Roode as the WWF champion would have been interesting, you know. But this was a good SummerSlam all around. I think that, I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. Anyways, talk to you later. Bye.
Anymore. So you know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. I don't think that's the case at all. If you look at some of his earlier interviews, like